is definitely a red flag for any enterprise. Banker अगर पढ़ता है तो he definitely would think twice even if there's no collateral. Government takes the guarantee on the part of the promoter. So women entrepreneurs coming up front, they give a discount on the CGT SME fee, say 70 lakhs, 80 lakhs upfront, जिससे working capital blockage नहीं होता है किसी भी MSMEs के लिए.
Hi, today we're in conversation with Rohit Kolte. He's a renowned chartered accountant. He's got an experience of about 11 years and he's a director at ICSE school. He has served many government and private entities and he specializes in SOP implementation. Welcome, Rohit. It's a pleasure to have you with us at Channel 6 Network.
Thank you. The pleasure is completely mine.
So Rohit, let me start by asking you, there's a lot of buzz around the new IT section, income tax section, 43BH. So what is it all about?
Yeah, so the 43BH, the new section which was introduced by the government. So earlier, before understanding that, I believe everyone should understand where it comes from. So it comes from the section 43B. Earlier, जिसमें ये section में ऐसा था कि the deductions were allowed to assessees on payment basis and not on accrual basis. So the payment due dates were specified by the government, and recently to help MSMEs collect their funds on time, the government has introduced this subclause which is 43BH. So by this, what has happened? There is a specific due dates aligned by government, wherein a specific timeline is to be met. Whenever a buyer buys goods from an MSME, he needs to meet those specific lines. And MSMEs are generally bifurcated by government into three broader categories: micro, medium, and small. So this section is typically applied to an MSME registered person, MSME enterprise. This section is applicable to MSMEs. So the MSMEs are broadly categorized depending upon the turnover as well as the investment in plant and machinery done by these enterprises. So this is the MSMEs are bifurcated broadly into micro, medium, and small.
Okay. So what is the meaning of investment in plant and machinery?
So when we say investments, it's typically the WDV value. So WDV value is a written down value. For any enterprise, in the Income Tax Act, there are two methods in which depreciation is being charged. One is a straight line method and one is WDV. So when we say investments, it is the written down value of the assets after depreciation as of 31st March of a year.
So how does this new section affect the taxation for the MSMEs?
So what government has done here is they have given timelines in the MSME Act, as well as they have connected the MSME Act to the Income Tax Act, wherein any assessee who's buying from receiving services from any MSME enterprise, he has to meet the deadlines of maximum 45 days. And in case of any written agreement or a detailed invoices is being issued by an MSME, then the due date is 45. In case there is no written agreement, in that case, 15 days is a timeline where the buyer or the recipient of service should do the necessary payment to the MSME.
So ये किसको applicable होगा?
ये MSMEs को applicable तो होगा ही, but उसमें specifically जो section 44AD, ADA और AE, हमारे इसमें उसको हम बोलेंगे presumptive sections. जो presumptive sections में income declare करते हैं, वो enterprises को ये applicable नहीं होगा. एंड जो एंटिटीज को एप्लीकेबल होगा उसमें इसका इफेक्ट ऐसा है कि इन केस इफ यू हैवंट पेड द MSME रजिस्टर्ड एंटिटी विद इन द स्टिपुलेटेड टाइम पीरियड, यानी जो टाइम लिमिट दिया है 45 डेज एंड 15 डेज, इफ यू फेल टू पे, अगर आपने पेमेंट नहीं किया तो आपके प्रॉफिट में ये एड बैक हो जाएगा. सो टेक्निकली इफ यू आर 20% टैक्स स्लैब एंड इफ दिस एक्सपेंस गेट एडेड बैक टू योर प्रॉफिट, यू गेट इनटू 30% टैक्स स्लैब. सो इट्स अ डायरेक्ट jump of tax slab for an assessee who does not pay in time, and a revenue and a plus point for a person who does prompt payment. And moreover, whenever such entity fails to do the payment, the auditor will qualify the reports of the audit reports, which is definitely a red flag for any enterprise. Because qualified report कोई भी और banker अगर पढ़ता है तो he definitely would think twice before giving a loan to that person. Also, this section is not applicable to full-time traders. यानी MSME में एक ट्रेडर रजिस्टर होकर उसके बैंकिंग बेनिफिट्स ले सकता है, बट इन दिस 43BH specifically is not applicable to traders. It is only applicable to service providers and manufacturers on the large scale.
So what nature of payments are covered?
So basically, all as income tax only allows account pay checks or NEFTs. So these are the broadly account pays and online transactions allowed. And also, one can give a check, and the payment date would be considered on the date the receiver accepts the check, irrespective of the date. The date does play a crucial role. Date important है, but जब वो accept करता है जिसने provide किया है, that matters a lot in case of a check, physical check.
सो रोहित जी, आपने जैसे एक्सप्लेन किया है टाइमली बेनिफिट्स के लिए, ऐसे कुछ स्पेसिफिक कंडीशंस होते हैं जो एमएसएमई को ध्यान रखना चाहिए टू अवेल दीज बेनिफिट्स?
या श्योर, द बेनिफिट्स इन सेंस जो डिडक्शन का है उनके लिए हर एमएसएमई ने बिल्स प्रॉपर विद प्रॉपर डिटेल्स बिल बनाना चाहिए, प्रॉपर नंबरिंग, स्पेसिफाई हिज प्रॉपर उद्यम रजिस्ट्रेशन नंबर्स मेंशन करके टैक्स इनवॉइस प्रिपेयर करना चाहिए विद स्पेसिफिक ड्यू डेट्स. बाय ड्यू डेट्स आई मीन कि टाइमलाइन, जैसे गवर्नमेंट ने 45 डेज का बोला है, इट्स ऑलवेज बेटर यू मेंशन 45 और लेसर देन दैट, क्योंकि उससे ज्यादा भी रखा तो द टाइम लिमिट इज 45 डेज. मोर ओवर उसके बाद अगर कस्टमर दे डोंट पे ऑन टाइम, सो दे कैन डेफिनेटली गिव देम रिमाइंडर लेटर्स, भेज सकते हैं बाय ईमेल, बाय पोस्ट, एंड कीप अ लॉग ऑफ इट कि टाइमली पेमेंट्स कस्टमर से नहीं मिले तो हमने वी हैव टेकन स्पेसिफिक एक्शंस एंड टेकन फॉलो विद द कस्टमर्स, जिससे हमें रिकवरी हो पाए.
सो और क्या क्या बेनिफिट्स हैं एमएसएमईज के लिए?
MSMEs के लिए जनरली there are multiple schemes which government is coming up with. As आपको ही मालूम होगा, MSMEs का शेयर अभी बढ़ रहा है in the GDP as well as in the export sector. It's almost 45 to 50% export field. So government is coming up with multiple scheme. हर बैंक के पास MSMEs के लिए specific scheme है जिसमें without collateral. When we say without collateral, से बिना without mortgage up to 5 CR का उसका limit है. Without collateral, government bankers can give loans to MSMEs. That too at a very like decent rate of interest. This will help all the MSMEs to expand the businesses to a next level, और जिससे उनको और भी फंड्स इनफ्लो करके they can get a good deal, bargain करके एक अच्छा डील वगैरह वो खुद के लिए ले सकते हैं. मोर ओवर इसमें उनके लिए सब्सिडीज की भी बहुत सारी स्कीम्स गवर्नमेंट इज कमिंग अप, बिकॉज गवर्नमेंट इज टेकिंग एमएसएमईज वेरी सीरियसली एज दे अंडरस्टैंडिंग दे बीइंग अ बैकबोन ऑफ इंडियन इकोनॉमी. सो दे आर डूइंग वेरियस सब्सिडी स्कीम लाइक पीएमईजीपी हो गया या सीएमईजीपी हो गया. ये अपॉर्चुनिटीज भी क्रिएट करते हैं जॉब की, स्पेशली इन स्मॉल टाउन्स एज वेल एज बिगर टाउन्स. जब आपको मालूम है कि गवर्नमेंट इज गोइंग टू पिच इन 30% विथ यू, 30-40% तक सब्सिडीज है. कोई बैम्बू वगैरह के प्रोजेक्ट में अप टू 50% एंड ऑल्सो 50% प्लस. गवर्नमेंट इज ऑल्सो लुकिंग इन टू AIF, एग्रीकल्चर इंफ्रास्ट्रक्चर फंड, वेर इन दे आर टेकिंग एग्रीकल्चर रिलेटेड MSMEs ऑल्सो वेरी सीरियसली, जिससे स्पेशली इन स्मॉल टाउन्स बूमिंग बहुत है कि एग्रीकल्चर रिलेटेड MSMEs आर कमिंग इन टू पिक्चर, दे आर जनरेटिंग जॉब्स, getting into finances and availing the benefits. So overall scenario MSMEs के लिए strong हुआ है other benefits केस में.
That looks very promising. So इसमें women entrepreneurs के लिए भी कोई schemes हैं?
Yeah, definitely. Women entrepreneurs के लिए ऐसा है कि तो CGT SME fee रहती है जो सेंट्रल गवर्नमेंट गारंटी लेता है कि even if there is no collateral, government takes the guarantee on the part of the promoter कि हम गारंटी लेते हैं कि ये टाइमली पेमेंट होगी. So in that case, if women entrepreneurs coming up front, they give a discount on the CGT SME fee, and गवर्नमेंट जब गारंटी लेता है वो उस चीज को एक फीस चार्ज करते हैं गवर्नमेंट टू द बोरोवर इटसेल्फ. तो अगर वुमेन एंटरप्रेन्योर है तो सब्सिडीज में भी 10-15% का प्लस है, प्लस द रेट ऑफ इंटरेस्ट ऑल्सो गेट सब्सिडाइज. Moreover, the CGT SME fee also gets reduced. Also, if you are MSME registered, you can register yourself with Startup India का जो स्कीम है उसमें आप रजिस्टर कर सकते हो, जिसमें up to 3 years there is tax holiday, and as a promoter you can select up to 3 years out of your 10 years का period, उसमें आपको income tax ही नहीं लगेगा. So that is, I believe, बहुत बड़ा step गवर्नमेंट ने लिया है, and it promotes the entrepreneurs to get into it. Moreover, there are also seed capital funding programs, incubation centers भी गवर्नमेंट बना रही है for MSMEs to come up, because government wants कि young entrepreneurs develop हो और they come into innovations and business. on a very larger scale.
That's very exciting and encouraging. I'm sure a lot of women entrepreneurs will take a step ahead.
Definitely. Even in our small towns, like women entrepreneurs are coming up. Like some of them I've come across, they deal into organic vegetables, maybe trading karte hain. Some are dealing in human hair also. So I believe slowly and steadily they would go for schemes like SME IPOs and stuff, which helps them to get a stage for them, a better platform wherein they can source the fund, a debt-free fund also, or even if they want to get debt at a good cost.
Right.
Because earlier they never had options. Earlier उनके options नहीं थे. They had to rely on NBFCs, जो उनको 18% तक charge करते थे. अभी government has subsidized it and they have reduced it to around 10% and not more than that, which I believe is a very good deal.
Absolutely. With all of this, I'm sure they'll be able to market at a much larger audience.
Yeah. जैसे इंटरनेशनल कमिटी वगैरह एग्जीबिशंस में भी उनको लाइक रियम्बर्समेंट मिलता है एक्सपेंसेस का, कि अगर दे वांट टू अटेंड, लेट्स से कि बीकेसी में कोई एग्जीबिशन है, उनको उधर अटेंड करना है, तो दे गेट रियम्बर्समेंट ऑफ दोज एक्सपेंसेस. उनका वो दे नीड टू अप्लाई फॉर इट एंड प्रोसेस इज ऑल्सो वेरी डिसेंट. मोर ओवर किसी का अगर पेमेंट लिटिगेटेड है तो गवर्नमेंट हैज कम अप विथ फैसिलिटेशन सेंटर्स ऑल्सो फॉर देम, कि जनरली कोर्ट में जाओ तो इट इज अ हेडेक. पीपल आर प्रीटी रिलक्टेंट कि वो नहीं जाते हैं. तो अभी फैसिलिटेशन सेंटर से ऐसा हो गया है कि द टाइमलाइन हैज रिड्यूस. टू गिव यू स्टैटिस्टिक्स, अराउंड 76,000 सूट्स फाइल हुए थे, उसमें से 36,000 सॉल्व भी हो चुके हैं. सो लुकिंग एट इंडिया सिनेरियो में अगर अपन देखो तो दिस इज अ बिग विन-विन सिचुएशन फॉर एनी MSME.
Absolutely. That's very promising and encouraging.
Yeah. And in case if a person is not paying in time, he gets the seller can charge 3% of rate of interest, or 3 times the RBI at what RBI lends. He can charge 3 times the normal lending rate of RBI. So that I believe is a good step by government, and facilitation center definitely helps. Also, government has come up with a platform called TREDS. TREDS में क्या होता है, जो bill discounting एक सेंट्रलाइज प्लेटफॉर्म दे दिया गवर्नमेंट ने, जिसमें कोई भी MSMEs who is dealing with PSUs, बड़े कंपनी से अगर कोई डील करता है तो he can go with TREDS, he can get his bill discounted. Like for example, if you have a 1 crore का बिल आपके पास है, you can go to TREDS platform and they can take a subvention fee. Technically subvention is an interest charge by them. तो अगर 1 crore का बिल है, they'll charge let's say 5% interest from it and they'll give you upfront say 70 lakhs 80 lakhs upfront, जिससे working capital blockage नहीं होता किसी भी MSMEs के लिए, and it smoothens the operation. So this is also a very big step taken by government, and government is wanting, government banks or NBFCs को बुला रही है. They are wanting, they are inviting such people to step into trades and facilitate MS. Because to give you more on this, recently our finance minister Mrs. Nirmala Sitharaman came in an interview did mention that she is wanting, वो चाहते हैं कि कोई forum represent करे कि exactly MSME को problem क्या है, क्योंकि rightly now what we are seeing is people are just making a fudge out of it कि हाँ हमको तकलीफ है, but तकलीफ क्या है, no one is being specific about it. Yeah, there's a lot of gap. So Nirmala Sitharaman ma'am definitely said these words specifically कि she wants forums to step up. I believe Vibrant India Economic Forum can definitely play a key role. They already have an exposure of representing in parliament as they have represented forest and all. So I believe they can also represent MSMEs as they have already a group, they are going for a huge cluster of MSMEs with them. So they can definitely represent the practical difficulties at grassroots level, which has never communicated to government by any organization as of now, at least as far as my knowledge goes. So this will definitely add in value कि कोई provision में अगर amendment हो रहा है या practical difficulties communicate करने में definitely help.
Exactly. So that's a great step by Vibrant India, and they're making aware of all these and representing at a national level.
Yeah.
So thank you so much, Rohit. It was a pleasure to host you on Channel 6 Network. And thank you for sharing all the learnings with our viewers. I'm sure it's going to be very beneficial for our viewers.
Thank you, Sonia. The pleasure is completely mine. I especially thank Vibrant India Economic Council and Channel 6 Network for giving us a platform, giving me a platform specifically, and having me here.
Absolutely. So Vibrant India is giving a platform empowering MSMEs. You are watching Channel 6 Network. Don't forget to follow us on social media.